Well, damn, I didn't think I was going to be making this video. Seems like the news for the Cleveland Cavaliers just continuously gets worse and worse at this point. But if you haven't seen it already, this is all being reported by Shams. It is now being said that Collin Sexton will now miss the remainder of the year, of course, with a really big injury that is going to require him to have surgery to fix it. I think a lot of you guys have heard about the most recent injury he had, which actually was, I believe, it was his left meniscus tear, which he now have surgery on to fix it. So, a lot of people are, kind of saying, well, is this the last game for Collin Sexton? In my opinion, could possibly be the last game for Collin Sexton and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The reason why is because the Cavs have been really interested in trading Sexton before. Doesn't necessarily look like Sexton and Garland work together, and it seems like they want to keep Garland for the future. And look, I don't blame him. Garland could definitely be a star very soon. But when we all look at it like this, Collin Sexton will be a free agent. I'm not really here to discuss my thoughts and opinions on whether or not I think we should keep him. More so of, what does this mean for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Is the season done for the Cavs? What can they do to maybe try and fix this and try and turn it all around? The first thing, you need to do, especially if you're the Cavs general manager, aka Kobe Altman, is you definitely need to go out and trade for a shot creator, and I mean one pretty quick. There definitely are a lot of shot creators, out on the market right now that the Cavaliers definitely could, of course, go after. When we look at it, the Orlando Magic, who are currently like one of the worst teams in the league, they've got Terrence Ross, who they're looking to try and trade, and apparently trying to trade for pretty cheap, just to, give some minutes to some younger players here and there, maybe. Of course, I've suggested a trade, that the trade, maybe Cavaliers trade up Lauri Markkanen, and they get back Terrence Ross and a couple second-round picks in return. I think this works for both teams. The Magic get a young, power forward in, while the Cavaliers get a shot creator in Terrence Ross. And, yeah, I think he can make up for what Collin Sexton, he kind of misses. And you might be like, well, if you lose Lauri Markkanen, you kind of say, do they need another power forward or just some more forward depth? I wouldn't really think so, even though Evan Mobley's injured. I think they just need a backup center now, because Evan Mobley played a lot of backup center minutes as well. He started a power forward, but then when Allen went to the bench, he played that center, type of role. They've got heaps of players that can play the power forward position, though. You got Kevin Love, Dean Wade, Jetty Osman. They can probably just sign someone for cheap if they need. They just do need that shot creator. I think if you can get a couple second-round picks and a dude like Terrence Ross in, you're probably looking to do something like that. The Indiana Pacers as well could potentially have some shot creators here and there. Jeremy Lamb, who they haven't started all season, are only giving around 15 minutes per game to, which is pretty crazy. He's on 43% from 3. He's averaging 8.2 points per game in 15 minutes. I think the Cavaliers should definitely try and trade for him. He would actually make a lot of sense to maybe see on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that would actually be a really good situation. And then, those are the two main ones, I think. The Minnesota Timberwolves definitely have Malik Beasley, but he's on a pretty big contract that I don't know if the Cavaliers are necessarily going to want to pay for. But hey, and he's out of form too this year, which doesn't help. But he's another one the Cavaliers might just say, well, he kind of makes sense. If we can't get Jeremy Lamb or even potentially Terrence Ross, then maybe just go after them. But if I was the Cavaliers, I would legitimately go after both. Like, if you trade away Terrence Ross, get a couple second-round picks, you get on Terrence Ross's $11 million contract, you probably save around $6 million from that Lauri Markkanen deal. Of course, you look at it like this. I think Jeremy Lamb's on around $11 million as well. So maybe if you're the Cavaliers, you say, well, we got that $6 million to maybe save to take on, and maybe give up a contract that's on like $5 or $6 million. I'm not sure who that would be. I don't know how they would get that down. They don't really have a player that's kind of on a contract like that, which sucks, but maybe they have some exception I don't know about to maybe do. And yeah, maybe you give up a couple second round picks or something to get Jeremy Lamb to the team. So really you can turn Lauri Markkanen into like Jeremy Lamb and Terrence Ross, which makes a lot of sense for the team. Both of those players can come off the bench and play a lot of wing minutes, a lot of shooting guard, a lot of small forward. You could even see Jeremy Lamb maybe fit into the point guard position off the bench as well. if really needed. And then, yeah, I think that would be a situation which makes a lot of sense for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And if you sign a backup dude in like DeMarcus Cousins, this team could legitimately start to look even better when you do look at it kind of long term like that. So, hey, I really do think that that could be the move. But yeah, Collin Sexton getting injured is going to hurt the Cleveland Cavaliers, you know, a lot, being out of the season. You know, originally I thought it wouldn't hurt that much, but that was only because I thought we would trade for a shot creator really, really quick. At the time making this video, we still haven't. It's been like a week to two since Sexton's injury, and I know like the Pacers and Magic are probably on the verge of like trading away both of those players, and are like, as soon as they get an offer, we'll probably do it. So I really don't understand why it's taken the Cleveland Cavaliers and Kobe Altman this long. I would have thought, you know, the reason Sexton's injury wouldn't have been that bad is because they would have gotten a shot creator in pretty soon. But as I said, at the time making this video, they have not gotten a shot creator in soon at all. And it is, yeah, looking pretty bad for the Cavaliers in terms of that. Like the other day in the fourth quarter, they only scored 8 points. And that was because as soon as Darius Garland kind of got locked down by whoever they put on him, I forgot who they put on him, but as soon as he got locked down, it was kind of like, well, who's going to create the shots? Ricky Rubio was being a little inconsistent in that game at times. Dean Wade is not going to create the shots for you. None of these players are going to create the shots. So I think bringing in a dude like Terrence Ross, who can definitely, you know, be a nice shot creator. I do like Jeremy Lamb as well, who's legitimately scoring like 8.5 points in 15 minutes, which is crazy. Another dude that can definitely create a shot. You really do start to think that these players could be pretty perfect, as you know, as long as the Cleveland Cavaliers get them for cheap. And hey, if you lose like Lauri Markkanen and get both of these players in, I'd say that's a massive success. I think that is really good. The contracts, I don't know how that would work, but I definitely feel like a trade could potentially be done. And the thing is, both of them will be free agents. So if they don't work out, you can definitely go on free agency, like, you know, saying to yourself, well, do both of these players want to come back for a little cheaper? Are they liking what's happening on the team? Do we like their performance and production? Are we going to bring them back? This and that. What's going to happen? But yeah, the Cavaliers have to trade for at least one of them. I would like both of them. I think the Cavaliers are in desperate need for a shot creator. Every team should have around 3 to 4 players that can create a shot in like a 10-man rotation. The Cavaliers have about 1 because Colin Sexton's injury. They already went into the season with a lack of shot creators. But I think if you can bring in like Terrence Ross and Jeremy Lamb, there's a couple of good shot creators that can come in and, yeah, maybe even free up Ricky Rubio. Like if players are worried about them taking some shots, maybe they might like to, you know, not concentrate on as much on Ricky Rubio, because, yeah, recently, now that everyone knows how good he can be, a lot of, you know, teams have really been honing in on him, and his shot creation has definitely looked a little behind at times. So, yeah, hopefully he continues it and just, you know, continues what he was doing previously and gets back at it, and that would be the ideal, you know, situation. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA news and NBA content. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel, MIRO/Long channel, if you haven't already, which I'll all be linking in the description down below, and just commenting your thoughts and opinions. Should the Cavaliers, of course, go out and try and trade for some of these players? Of course, I would definitely really like to know. And again, should they maybe trade Lauri Markkanen to make one of these things happen? Of course, I would really like to know. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.